Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. We are so pleased with the support that we found already here from our first video back after 8 years, and the fact that we have already gotten over 200 views and almost 15 likes might not sound like a huge goal to some people, but for us it's super major. So it just made me want to say thank you before we got started for any interest that you might leave here on your way through your YouTube scrolling. So as I mentioned in my last video, I'm an artist and AI hasn't figured out a way to stop me from creating art. And until it does, I guess I will be around doing so and hoping that maybe you'll enjoy it with me. Like our last video, this video will be concluding our art fight adventure of this year. It was our very first one. And honestly, overall, we had a really great time. Not only did it let me start dipping my toes into finding a place in the art community, but honestly, the fact that it inspired me to not only start drawing again, but create fully finished pieces, multiple pieces, for the first time in probably over a year is super big for me still. So frankly, each piece of art I make for this channel, every little pop-up, every little effect, it kind of is fueling my creative fire in a way that I haven't had in a while. So honestly, for that art fight, it was a major win for me this year. This particular video is going to be about ship drawings. Now, anyone who has drawn OCs has probably likely drawn some kind of ship drawing at one point or another, either of their own OCs interacting, of their OCs and a friend OCs, or maybe an OC of a person you were maybe crushing on, just, stories friends have told me. There will only be 2 illustrations this week that I'm featuring, but there will be 4 characters. So, grab a drink, get cozy, and come along and see what kind of art we create this week. So our first ship characters are going to be Silent and Cinder, and they are both dragons from a universe I know nothing about. But they seemed like such a cute, sweet, innocent couple, and I definitely wanted to give them a shot. Um, but this isn't that picture, because I started with some human bodies. You see, this artist Spark was my very first attack on Art Fight, and I was so honored that they chose to attack my character that I really wanted to make them a revenge art piece. And I initially picked out some of their human characters because I thought I wanted to draw humans, and then I decided, oh, just kidding, I want to draw dragons, which I've only drawn like maybe 2 of my entire life, just to make it extra challenging for me. Um, to be honest, I'm not sure why I decided to pick that particular challenge, but I think the illustration turned out really fun, so I definitely don't regret it, and I just wanted to leave that little bit in there to show that, yeah, sometimes our first goes are not what actually ends up sticking to the canvas. So to me, part of what makes Art Fight so enjoyable is, to myself and probably a lot of other artists, it gives us permission to just do artwork for fun in the spirit of giving without having to try to make it like super epic and super representative of like our best art styles and these high-end commissions and all the pressure we usually put ourselves as artists when we're promoting our stuff to the internet and others in general. But that doesn't mean you can't convey like a really beautiful sentimental piece without needing to go all out and display every single part of the body and do a super highly detailed background, etc., 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 when everything is 100% all the time. And to me, Art Fight was really an opportunity for me to just say, you know what, not everything has to be a 10 or a million, and not every piece has to be so detailed and super perfect. You can just be happy with what turns out and enjoy it for exactly what it is right now. Overall, I really adored how this piece turned out. I think it's super cute, super romantic in that sweet and innocent kind of way. And who doesn't love some sweet pink cherry blossoms in the background? The OC owner seemed to really enjoy the piece, so that really made me happy. So this next ship is Mimoon and Bo. I really hope I said that first name right. I'm just gonna call him Moon. And Bo and Moon are definitely a lot more angsty than the other pair of sweet dragons. I was definitely having a day in my life that day when I started this that I was looking for something a little more emotional, a little bit more down in the dumps, just because that's kind of where my brain was that day. And I don't know about you as a fellow artist, but when my mental health is kind of down, I tend to like to focus on topics that are a little less pink and fluffy. So, what drew me to this pair is actually their universe. The creator of these OCs has created a universe called the Sleepless Universe, for now, anyway. And on their art fight, they detailed it where there was an unidentified mutation in people's DNA which causes their body an incapability to sleep after experiencing their best possible night's sleep. So only after one's best sleep can one expire. And it's able to occur at any point in life, but it's obviously impacted by outside sources such as emotions, experiences, and life situations. And unfortunately, this sleepless existence that they carry on for is the only way that they are able to live and the only way that they are able to expire because this mutation also makes it so that they can't expire in any other kind of way. And to me, that was a special kind of interesting, tragic to me because I am somebody who definitely experiences my fair share of insomnia, especially due to like rumination in my brain. And so, frankly, the fact that Mimoon here ended up in a mental health facility, delusional, and convinced they are a bat, um, realistically, I kind of identified with it. I'm not gonna lie because if I was somewhere where I couldn't sleep ever again and I was just like running on fumes for the rest of my life, that is exactly where I would land. So, not only is their universe kind of tragic, it also clearly has an impact on the characters. And Mimon themselves are mute and they only communicate through Morse code. And they felt pretty lonely most of their time until they met Bo, and just the special relationship that they formed in this really rough landscape really spoke to me as an inspiration for the piece. I know so much about them already, and they're not even my OCs, so that will tell you that they are definitely really well developed. And I kind of fell in love with them a little bit just because they are just these tragic partners in this life that they didn't choose, in this scenario that is definitely less than ideal, but they're kind of trying to make it work for the best. The owners of the OCs, in their permissions, really were requesting art of these two together, and in their suggestions of different things that they could be doing, was giving them piggyback rides. Bo likes to give Mimon, Mimoon piggyback rides. But in the end, I think I captured the late night in the middle of the spooky halls, sneaking around in a nurse schedule really well, and I think that the OC owner really enjoyed it too. So it really made me happy with how the piece turned out. Alright, well, we made it through our second video. How do you feel? I definitely got a little nervous here or there, but I think it went pretty okay. I really enjoyed creating the pieces that I finished out Art Fight on, even though they took me a little longer than the first pieces I created. I gave them a little more time, a little more attention, because they were of relationships, and I really wanted to exemplify a couple of interesting and different relationship dynamics. The next video won't be about Art Fight, and I'm not quite positive exactly what it's going to be about yet, but you can definitely look forward to it, and I would really appreciate any kind of like, comment, maybe even a subscribe if you think you might want to stick around. Until I see you next time, enjoy yourself, enjoy your art. Bye!